Okay. If you will share your screen again, that would be fantastic. We'll get started right away. It's 3 o'clock here in Mountain Standard Time. Welcome everyone to this second in the series of AI webinars, harnessing, and the theme for today's webinar is harnessing AI for strategic planning and growth. Objective is that this is going to provide a platform and material for you to create an amazing 2025, not just a good year, but an outstanding year, for you. And so just want to welcome everyone for joining us. If you were here last time, great. You had a great foundation. If not, the recording for the last webinar will be a good background, and I believe it has been sent to you when you registered. And our presenter today, as you already know, is Moji. But I also wanted you to know that this webinar is sponsored by BNI, as we see in our next slide. And if you're not already affiliated with BNI or member of BNI, well, just quickly, BNI is a business development networking, professional networking organization, the largest in the world and the most successful. And it is there to provide quality referrals for businesses, for its members, help them expand their network. Again, professional development, and perhaps most importantly, to create a supportive community for the individual, member, and for their business, and incredible amount of leadership opportunities that are available in that community. So if you are interested in finding out more about BNI, absolutely, you can, BNI.com or BNISalberta.ca. You'll find lots of information there. And you can, afford yourself the opportunity to visit one of our chapters from that side. Today, I also not only want to welcome everyone, I want to specifically acknowledge and welcome those who are helping us facilitate this webinar, especially in the breakout rooms and so forth. Thank you for raising your hands last time and volunteering to do this. We truly appreciate you. And so I'd like to give you an opportunity to introduce yourselves. Starting with John Breeze, could you just give us a quick intro, who you are, sir?
Certainly, John Breeze. I am actually a business coach. I've been associated with BNI for many years, and I have had amazing opportunities to work with clients in helping them develop business plans and business strategies. I'm very excited at the opportunities that AI provides to help people come to terms with what seem like quite challenging and difficult struggle to create strategies and plans. And I think AI has a huge benefit to offer to help small businesses get the most amazing business plans and business strategies that they've ever seen.
Thank you so much, John. Excellent. Chris.
Thanks, Deli. Hey, folks, I'm Chris Eater with ePlatform, and we are your AI guys. So we help small businesses implement customer service and sales AI chatbots that work 24/7 to get them more leads, appointments, and customers, of course. So we set up practical uses of AI solutions for many types of industries that help to improve their customer service, drive more sales, and create lasting customer connections. So thanks so much for having me here today, Moji and Deli, and thanks for everyone joining us today.
We are glad to have you. Thank you. Lloyd.
Good afternoon. My name is Lloyd Hampshaw. I am one of 4 Lloyd Hampshaws attending today's meeting, but not all of them look like me. That's a good thing, actually. I run a recruiting firm, and with the help of Moji, I'm starting the process of really getting in depth on how AI can affect my business in a positive manner, using a lot of the strategic things that we've gone through with AI and that we're probably going to be learning today. But I look forward to being part of this journey with all of you.
Thank you, Lloyd. One of four Lloyds. And Ob, let's hear from you. Looks like Ob is not here yet. Well, he will be joining us. Oh,
Yeah, he was having some challenges earlier, so
okay.
yeah.
Okay, he'll be joining us and he will have an opportunity then. Well, let's quickly look at agenda for today. In the next slide, we want to definitely prepare this AI-powered strategic plan for 2025 so that, yes, hopefully you're wrapping up 2024 with great excitement, but you want to look ahead to 2025 with great anticipation, of what is possible beyond what you've experienced so far, and this will definitely help. And then we'll go into breakout room with strategic alliance, groups. These individuals that in this webinar that have related businesses to yours, and hopefully there'll be some synergy as we work together. And then implementation roadmap. We'll follow we'll work on that for a short period of time and then define next steps. We're already looking forward to a follow-up webinar to this. As already maybe mentioned, it was mentioned the last time, this is going to be an ongoing series. And so with that said, I'm going to invite Moji to take on this incredible work of leading us in this webinar.
Thank you, Daley, and thanks everyone for being here. We're very excited to have you. And one of the things for me that it makes this a very exciting thing is the fact that if we as leaders can sort of get the upper edge as AI is about to take off in our world, I just imagine the impact we can have within our chapters, within our businesses, and in the lives of the people we serve. And so the workshop objectives for this afternoon are to create a 2025 strategic plan using AI prompts. Become comfortable with creating and refining to suit your needs. It is very, very unusual that you will immediately get exactly what you want from AI. And so really important that we learn what that process is and be able to hit the ground running in 2025. Before I continue, I just want to invite you. Okay, let's talk a little bit about why use AI for strategic planning. Anybody who's been involved in strategic planning, whether for your business or for a different organization, you realize just how much time is typically involved. And as we work together, you'll see how much quicker using AI-powered tools makes this process. You can compress hours literally months into hours. You uncover hidden opportunities and threats. So there are possibilities in your business that you may not even be aware of. And it's, using the AI tools is almost like having a strategic partner there with, they don't have the blinders on like we often do with our own business, and they're thinking outside the box, and they're able to help us with that. We're able to leverage the collective intelligence in the room. So if your video is not on, I want to encourage you to really to turn it on if you can, because seeing your face makes it a lot easier for the people in the room to interact with you and to have questions. This is not a delivery type thing for the most part. It is actually more of a, hey, we'll put the prompt in, we'll work with it, get a couple of responses, and then we'll move on. So the idea is not just that you learn it. I don't know about you, but I've gone to a lot of webinars where I learn it and I tell myself, oh, I am going to what's it called? I'm going to implement this later, and later just never comes. So I just want to encourage you not to make this another one of those webinars where you just, you show up, you learn the stuff, and then you go away, but to actually, version 1 is better than version none. Do something. during this hour and a half that we have together. And then finally, the other reason we want to explore this is AI really explodes the power team multiplication effect, which is, the other term we talk about strategic alliances. Working with AI really helps magnify that, and you'll see that both as we work through this this webinar and also in subsequent webinars, you'll see that showing up. Okay, so a few things. This is not the only outline, but this is the outline that we will be using for this review that we're doing. For this planning time that we're doing. I sent a pre-work. I know some of you registered, like really late, and thank you. We're very happy that you're here. So just, do the best you can to follow along. If you didn't get to do the pre-work, if you got to do the pre-work, good on you, because again, it just means that you can actually work with numbers that you already have. But, the first step will be, what was 2024 like? Do a review on that. What went well, what didn't. Review your vision and your mission statements for your business. And then the step where we're actually going to start with here in this room is your SWOT analysis. With that, once we have a SWOT analysis, we will do some prompting around annual goals. Believe it or not, the first time I asked the help of ChatGPT in defining my goals for BNI Alberta South, I was surprised at some of the things that came up. So very excited to see what results might come up for you around that. And then we'll work on what are the strategies and action plans that we actually need in order to achieve that goal. We'll talk a little bit about your sales and marketing plan. Just spoiler alert, next month, we're going to be focusing completely on sales and marketing. Bar none, this is one of the biggest issues that business owners have. It's how do I market myself? How do I get new clients? And so that will be our focus for the January 6th webinar that's coming up. What metrics and KPIs do I need to measure in order to make sure that I'm online? AI can help us with that. The accountability process, what's that going to be like? What do I measure weekly? What do I measure, during my quarterly meetings? And again, part of the reason I kept, I probably sent 2 or 3 emails saying, bring a power team partner along, bring a power team partner along. And part of that reason is for this purpose as well. And then we'll spend a little bit of time on an implementation roadmap. We have a very ambitious agenda in front of us, but I just want to keep you, just remind everybody, especially if this is your very first webinar with us and you didn't get a chance to see the previous ones. Don't panic, don't lose heart. I'm really grateful for all of our facilitators. They're going to be monitoring the chat and, helping to answer questions. But if we need to stay, at the end and help you figure out where do you plug yourself into the process, we'll be more than happy to do that. For all of our members, I have had a mantra for a long time, and it is no member left behind. If you are willing and want to do this work for your business, we will absolutely walk beside you. Be patient with yourself. Learning to prompt AI, if you haven't before, is like learning a new language. And I don't know about you, but you're not going to expect that you can learn French or Spanish in about a 90-minute session. It's not going to happen. So again, just take deep breaths. If you're drowning, it's okay to say, hey, I'm drowning, can you not go so fast? And so we'll just do what we can to accommodate one another. Again, I alluded to why power team partners. If you have power team partners where you speak the same language and you've used this process together to create your individual processes, you are halfway there as far as, making things actually happen. And then to begin to use, the combined initiatives that you develop, you just exponentially increase everything. So there will be a power team component to all of these sessions as we move along. One very, very important note. I had sent everyone a message to say, please, sign up for a ChatGPT or poll, whatever you use, sign up for an account. Make sure through the entire webinar that you stay in the same window. In other words, do not start a new chat. As long as you stay in the same window, it has context to work with, and you don't have to keep repeating a lot of the stuff. If you get stuck, please reach out on chat, and I'm sure one of our facilitators will be delighted to support you. Don't be afraid to challenge your bot. If it gives you information that you go, where on earth did you get that from? Put it right in there. Where on earth did you get that from? That's inaccurate. Again, remember, and I shared this during the last webinar, is tell the bot, no, I don't like what you just put there. It has hallucinates, which is the AI term for when it's making stuff up. Tell it, please don't make stuff up. That's inaccurate. Go ahead and so again, don't be afraid to challenge it, and don't get bogged down if something's not making sense. It's okay to either ask your questions right away and ask for help. And I have the facilitators, they have my permission to interrupt me as we go along, so that we are not, don't feel like they're just being rude. If there's a question that they feel everybody needs to hear or that we need to address as a group, they might interrupt me. So with that, we are going to get started with a SWOT analysis. So Lloyd, if you could kindly copy and paste moving forward. Lloyd will be putting these, he'll be putting these prompts into the chat for you, so you don't have to type them out or read them out. Just copy and paste it directly into your AI bot, whatever you're using. And this is the first one. You're a highly skilled business consultant. Create a SWOT analysis for my BNI franchise, focusing on acquiring new clients who are realtors in Calgary, Alberta, right? You see the example I'm giving there. So copy and paste that using the specifics of your business. I'm going to give everybody about 30 seconds to do that and see what comes up for you. Okay, and if anybody would like to share, actually, by the way, I see a lot of people, a few people have been, they have the wrong names because we accidentally sent you links from Marvelous and Lloyd. I want to apologize for that. If you could kindly rename yourself on Zoom, that would be most appreciated, just so we know who it is and we're not calling you Lloyd when you're not Lloyd. And if you need help with that, please ask our facilitators and they will be happy to support you.
Not that there's anything wrong with being called Lloyd. It's totally acceptable.
Let's not even get started there. Okay. Anyone want to share what's coming up for them with regards to their business, challenges, surprises, what's going well? Okay, it says quiet as.
I have to say, I was just having a challenge doing the copy and paste for some reason, so I'm typing it in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is anyone else having trouble copying?
Actually, I think we're all challenged with that, so we're all typing it.
Zoom is
That
tricky with
is-
it sometimes. You have to like right click if you can and do copy. If
let
not
me-
on your keyboard, I have a Mac and I do like Command
Oh,
C.
yeah. So right click and just say copy. That worked. Thank you, Chris. Thanks, Robin. That's excellent feedback. See, I don't know what I don't know. So I appreciate that. Robin, did right clicking and copying and pasting help? No?
No, sorry, it didn't help me. I apologize.
Okay, nope. No
Zoom is
apologies.
tricky on some devices. I've noticed that on a lot of my meetings that the copying on Zoom is not always the most friendly.
Okay. We need a plan B. I'm just trying to think what would be the easiest way.
Shared Google Doc. Does
Yes.
it open?
Are you able to create a Google Doc, Chris? Here, I'm gonna just
Yeah, I can whip together a quick.
Lloyd, could you kindly forward the slides to Chris so he can create a Google
I've
Doc.
got them here unless they've changed.
No, they've changed. As I actually worked through it, I refined a lot of the prompts. So the ones you got on the weekend have changed. Lloyd will have the most updated copy.
Okay, so anyone with this link should be able to open up that
Thank you.
document with the first prompt.
Actually, it's not a bad idea to just do it one at a time, Chris. That is awesome. Because then we don't get ahead of ourselves. Awesome.
Sure. How about Lloyd? You put in the prompts and I'll paste them into Google Doc.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I'm eager to hear what people are learning.
Well, if no one's going to say anything, I'll use emoji. So mine's
ahead.
in. So this is what I ended up writing. I said, hello, I am the owner of High Tech Bracing Ltd in Lethbridge, Alberta. Please help me create a SWOT to focus on acquiring new clients in Lethbridge and Calgary area.
Nice.
So it did give me my strengths to start with. Do you want me to just focus on my weaknesses or?
No, we're gonna, thank you for that, by the way. I don't want us to go in depth into any one of these. I just want you to do like a high level, really, that's actually a really good point. Just a high level scan of what you're seeing. Are you seeing stuff that you're going, that's interesting. I didn't know I had these opportunities, or, hey, I didn't know I had those threats. So if you could just pinpoint in about, 10 seconds or so, what's coming up for you that maybe you weren't aware of, that'd be awesome.
Okay. So maybe I'll focus on some opportunities. I didn't read through this yet, but growing demand for bracing solutions in Calgary, for business expansions, potential collaborations with healthcare providers, clinics, rehabilitation centers. Yeah, so far nothing that's crazy to me.
Okay. Thanks, Robin. The one thing I would say, keep it generic, and I'll explain why in a bit. I don't want you to put your company name, and I don't want you to put specifics about you, or like for privacy reasons. If you don't have a paid version of any of these things, I don't want your information out there. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
Okay. So please, everybody remember that. So maybe you say, give me a SWOT analysis for a catering business, for example, if I was Olga. I wouldn't necessarily put the name of my catering business. I'll just say for a catering business, looking to acquire new clients in the Calgary, Alberta area, something like that. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Rina, thanks for raising your hand. What's coming up for you?
Moji, are you asking me, Marina?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
sorry. Yeah, sorry, Chris. I didn't have a question. I actually just wanted to comment. Sorry, that was confusing. I thought I was supposed to put my hand up. So what has come for me is a lot of it is reinforcing and sort of empowering, because many of the things that came up are things that I'm doing or things that I'm considering doing, but there are a couple of good ideas that have come out. One of them as an opportunity was targeting some underserved demographics.
Nice.
And gave specific ideas on, some of these areas that are overlooked by people in my industry. And I thought, yeah, you're right. They are overlooked. They're overlooked by me. There you go. So this is very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. And we're only just starting. So thanks for that. We're going to go to the next prompt, just in the interest of time. If I can get 2 people who haven't participated to please get ready to copy these prompts and share with us, that'd be awesome. So the next one is on goal setting. And before we go into it, I just wanted to share with you, I mentioned during the last webinar that we will talk about 4DX real quick. It is a system that we use in BNI at the regional and actually the global level. It was introduced to us by BNI Global, and we will eventually be introducing them to chapters and also for our members to run their businesses. Basically, the book identifies the fact that most business owners set too many goals, way way too many goals. And it's like you learning to juggle. If you start out with 10 balls, you're not going to succeed. And so what they claim is if you start out with one or two wildly important goals, they call them, or wigs, you are more likely to be successful than if you end up start out with like 10 goals for the year. So these are the four main tenets of the 4DX system. You focus on one or two critical goals. Which one goal, which one thing, if you picked on it, would actually impact all of your business? Focus on that one or two, those one or two things. Make sure you state it very clearly. I want to go from, for me in BNI, from 400 members to 550 members by when, right? By XYZ date. So make sure you have a clear statement. Then you identify what are your lead measures, and we're going to be doing that again with AI. What are the high impact influenceable activities? That means I have 100% control. I can pick up the phone. I can call clients. I can call prospects, and then determine what it is I need to do in order to get to that goal, and then track and measure these indicators. Those are your lead measures. Keep a compelling scoreboard, right? A simple, visible system for you and your team that you can go, oh, we're winning. Oh, we need to, adjust. What do we need to do differently? This ensures that, you can course correct as you come along. And the fourth thing is to create a cadence of accountability, whether it's a regular weekly meeting that you're holding with your team or daily reviewing your numbers as the business owners. So these are just you could do hours and hours on 4DX, but we just wanted to share a very brief introduction on 4DX with you. So with that, I'm going to share the next prompt, which is using the input from my SWOT. What are the most important goals I should consider setting for my business? Now, if you already have your goals set, don't worry about it. This is not meant to go, oh, your goals aren't good enough. Of course they are. But if something came up that you're open to exploring, these prompts might help you do that. And then the third one is, which of these goals would you consider to be my WIG? In other words, wildly important goal based on the 4 disciplines of execution framework. Again, these are supposed to help you identify what is the one thing that I can do that will move the needle more than anything else in my business, right? So those 2 prompts, let's take a couple of minutes to work on them and see what comes up for us. So Lloyd's put it in the chat, and Chris, can you let us know? Just unmute, like honestly, unmute. Yeah. Is it ready in Google Docs, Chris?
Yeah, it's in the Google Drive. Lloyd's got access to it, so he's dropping them in there as he goes, and he's got them in the chat here as well.
Perfect. And if anybody doesn't have access to that Google Docs, so that you can copy and paste it into your AI tool, please let us know so that we can get that to you. Thanks, Chris. And as you are ready, I would love for someone to come on and say, hey, you know what? I never thought about this goal, or it affirmed what I was thinking. What's coming up as we use these goal setting prompts together? And don't forget, I mean, these prompts they are suggested prompts. It's not the only way. If there's something else that you need or something else that's more appropriate within your business, please don't hesitate. This is a very fluid space where we're all learning together.
I have a share.
Yes, Kim.
So,
welcome to have
yeah,
you.
Good to be. I'm amazed. Like, it's tells me that I'm on track with what I believe my goals are. So that's nice. But it also lets me know even in more detail about how I should be going about those. So I'm tickled. I haven't played a lot with AI, but yeah, I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing so far.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you, Kim. Can we get one more person to share on this topic? Somebody who hasn't spoken already, please. I cannot wait you.
Okay. How about me,
Edwin,
Moji?
good to see
Edwin.
you all the way from Red Deer. I get to see you tomorrow.
Yes.
By the way, before
Yes.
Edwin, they have 31 visitors visiting BNI Horizon tomorrow. More visitors than members. Kudos.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Go ahead.
You know, when I asked AI, following your question, and I just put it attached to one part of my business, let's say the computer repair. I'm trying
Yes.
to rebuild that. And he came up with something that somehow I never clicked in my head, community involvement. I do a lot of community involvement, but never attached to technology, never attached to teaching something in the technology. Easy.
Nice.
It can be from emails. Again, it's enough to teach in the environment. That is a great it's a great input for me. Thank you,
Fantastic.
Moji.
Not
And
a
I will see
problem.
you tomorrow.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Edwin. And we'll talk about at the end how we refine all of these, because I mean, sometimes part of the issue is I get so many responses. I was like, where do I begin? And we'll talk about a process to actually get it to go, you know what, if you were in my shoes, which of these would you actually begin with so that it's workable and you can actually wrap your hands around what you're doing. So thank you both. I really appreciate that feedback. Next one. Okay, so we've identified your wig, all wigs. Hopefully you didn't pick more than one or two. I know we're business owners. We're very, what's it called? Very motivated and we want to do it all. But if you just picked one or two, you are more likely to be successful. So now to identify what are the 3 high impact strategies I can use to achieve my wig, or wigs if you picked 2. Along with each strategy, list 5 actionable tactics that I can implement immediately to start seeing results, right? Like very specific. We've got 3 strategies, and under each strategies, there will be 5 tactics. Does it mean you're going to do all 5? Maybe you already have 3 or 4 of those that you're already doing. It's just ideas at this point, and then you can sift through them later on. So let's put these prompts in and make some magic. I'm not seeing a lot of questions around people feeling overwhelmed. So that's very, very exciting. But I'm hoping that, you know, that's not because people are overwhelmed and they just don't want to speak. Please know that this is a safe space. We're all learning together. So anyways. And when you've had a minute to review that, I'd love to hear from 2 people who maybe haven't spoken. Chris, I forgot to mention to you, we have a marketing and sales poll that I would like us to deploy when we get to that spot, but I'll let you know when, if you could kindly take care of that.
Yeah, if you can just send me what you want on the poll.
No, it's set up already. You just go into the polls and it's specifically marketing and sales. Thank you.
Oh, I see. Great.
And I forgot to do the others, so that's okay. Oh. Okay. Who's ready to share some insights of what they might have discovered in the strategies and tactics? Did you come up with something new? Is it all stuff you've already been doing? What insights would you be willing to share with us?
Hey, Mojo, I'll go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks, Greg.
Okay. So I got to say, I haven't been overly prepared for this because the gentleman who invited me was very negligent in being really late to bring me on board.
Oh, come on now.
But
we're just excited, Greg, that you're here. How's that?
Well, every day we get an internet celebrity joining us too. So there's that, Greg.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So again, it's going through this process. First of all, it's like, yeah, why haven't I done this already? So thank you for spurring me on. But from strategies, just the stuff that is coming up. It's high impact strategies that are not new, but I have to question myself, how good am I actually doing it? And the strategies are, build a predictable lead generation funnel, no brainer. The next one is develop a compelling outreach and nurture campaign. Again, not news. And third one is strengthen your brand authority and visibility. So I touch on these. I do parts of it, but in terms of holistically bringing it together and put it into a tangible strategic plan, I gotta say I suck. So.
Not a problem. Thank you for sharing. And you're not alone. This is why we're doing this together, right? This is why we're not saying, hey, learn all this and go do it. Because we want to walk out of here with at least, if we've got 75% of what we need, and then you have an accountability partner that can help you sort of, get things over the finish line, how much more likely are we to be successful, eh? Thank you, Greg. Much appreciated. And can I get one more person to share around the tactics and strategies that they received from our friend, whether it's Poe or ChatGPT or whatever system you're using? I just want to quickly remind everyone to kindly rename yourself. You probably got the wrong link. Vicky, I think that's you. I just sent you a link to please rename yourself just so that we know who is in the room. Thank you. Okay, one more share, please, before we move around along from tactics. Anyone?
John's hand is up. John.
Yeah, please. Sorry, I can't see everybody when your hands are up. So thank you, Dilly, for that. Yeah, John, please go ahead.
Just as a quick overview here, what I'm noticing as this builds up, I'm probably, from what's come out of here, I'm probably about 6 weeks into an MBA strategy and tactics program right now. So I have a little bit of homework to do. This is, I don't want to call it overwhelming, but there's a huge amount of thought-provoking material in here that says, yes, of course I know that. And then the other half of me says, yes, but have you actually done anything with it? And then sort of the crawl away is, well, not as much as I would like. And so what this will do for me is to create a huge amount of go pick the things that matter and get on with them and do something that will create a difference. So this is already amazing. Thank you.
Absolutely. You are most welcome, John. And I mean, you just echoed Greg. A lot of the fact, actually, if everything that came up was strange, then we could go, yeah, I'm not so sure. The fact that some of it is new and some of it is, yeah, I knew that. Why am I not doing it? That to me even reinforces the fact that this is a phenomenal tool. And now that we are in this space, and many of you are in the space with someone who came with you specifically for this purpose, and we can now hold each other accountable. So this is very, very exciting for me to hear. And John, yes, absolutely. This was part of my MBA process. So trust me, I know what you're talking about there. Okay, so let's move on. And before we do this one, Chris, can you go ahead and launch that poll, please?
Yeah.
Just before, I just want us to, based on the wisdom in the room, what are you currently doing? Oh, sorry.
You want the marketing and sales one, right?
Yes, that's perfect. That was what, and it's the only one we're going to run. So if everybody can please just answer that poll. It's anonymous. It's not gonna, so it's fine to, yeah, and then, nice. And then we can all see, so first of all is, what is the need? And the second one is, what are we doing? Because again, if we create awareness, it makes it easier for us to actually move our businesses forward. It makes it easier for us when we go back to our BNI chapters to say, actually, this is what I need in my business. So we have 5 responses out of 23. Thank you.
I'm looking at this. I can't figure out how to use the poll.
John, are you a co-host by chance?
Yes.
That might be why.
Oh, you can't. Sorry.
Oh, I can't use it. Okay, fair enough.
Co-hosts cannot answer the polls. Neither can I. I'm only looking at the results. We've got 5 responses. I don't want to shut it down if nobody else wants to do this, but if you still want to participate and you need help, we would really appreciate your response. No problem, Vicky. I just saw your note. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, more responses coming in. It's just 2 questions. It'll take about, I don't know, 20 seconds, if that. Okay, I think it is okay for us to move along. For most of us, we need to increase brand awareness. Actually, you know what, Chris, why don't I get you to share the poll? You can end it and just share it now. I'll assume that most people who want to participate have participated. And the truth is, it's probably not. Business owners tend to be typical. We all think, oh, I'm different. But the truth is, if at this point we find that, you know, this many people have brand awareness is the issue, then it might be, especially if you're not sure, it might be for you. And what marketing channel is most effective? Most of us say word of mouth, which, whew, knowing that we're part of BNI, that would have been crazy if it wasn't, followed by social media, which tells me that social media will be a huge piece in our marketing in our next webinar. So I'd love to hear from the social media people in your chapters as we put the content together for the next webinar on the 6th of January. So I'm going to stop sharing that and just let us oh, sorry, I thought I shared the results, but yeah, I did. Okay, now we're going to do the prompts. So look for them in the Google Drive and look for them in the chat.
Prompts are there.
Perfect, thank you. And I'll give you a few seconds to get your responses, to review them, and then I'd love for you to share what's coming up for you.
Adrienne has hit the limits on her free plan, she's saying.
Sorry, who?
Adrienne with Halo Massage. I've now hit the free plan limit with chat.
Okay. Can we do, you know what?
Well, hold on. With ChatGPT though, with the free plan, unless it's changed since I had the free plan years ago, I didn't know there was a limitation.
Well, let's try something, Adrian. We can try po.com. It also has and it's got chat in it. It's got it actually has Claude, Chat, the Google one, and a few others, and they all have it has a free plan. So po.com, POE.com.
Right, it'll still work, but it's not ChatGPT. Yeah, you can 3.5 is just fine for this type of workshop. Not writing any code or doing anything like trying to get robots to take over the world. So yeah, 3.5 is just fine. Adrian, if you can switch it at the top left where it says ChatGPT 4.0.
Oh yeah, there you go.
To a different model that gives you the free option, whatever one. Be fine.
Okay, thank you. Can we have somebody share what's coming up for you with regards to sales and marketing?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm a wallflower. I'm not shy about exposing myself in.
I apologize. I don't
emotionally.
May I ask who's speaking?
Who's speaking?
I just don't see you. Sorry.
It's Greg.
My
Oh,
friends
sorry.
call
Go
me,
ahead.
my friends
Yes.
call me Gregorio. So,
No,
Good
Greg.
going.
You go ahead.
okay, Moji. So the things that came up, three most effective marketing strategies is the use of content marketing to build authority, which is solid. It's what I do through video podcasting, anyways. The next is interesting: targeted paid advertising campaigns. I've shied away from targeted paid because I try to go organic, but I may just give it a shot because Chat GTP can't be all that wrong, right?
Well, the truth too is if it gives you something that you're like, yeah, I'm not sure, leave it aside, right? If you feel like you haven't taken advantage of all the free stuff, don't go be putting money out there. But if you feel like you've done all the free stuff and you have the capacity to actually do like like a strategic targeted marketing approach, then I would do it, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, you still get to, you're the boss. You still get to say what you do or what you don't do.
Yeah, for sure. Then
Thank you.
next is community engagement and networking, which again I do. I do a lot of. So I'm pretty aligned with what ChatGTP is recommending for me.
Nice. Very nice. Awesome. One more person before we move on from sales and marketing. Dale, I'm just going to call on you. How's that for being mean?
What was the question? Sorry.
The question was what came up for you when you did the prompt?
Oh, when I did marketing strategies prompt there.
Yeah.
Obviously, social media is a big one. Being in the telecom world, it's always been a big one there. But marketing is social media and word of mouth. Those are my two biggest ones that it told me to do, is get out to networking events.
Okay. And
but it knows my background because I pay for the Teams one, so it knows I do a lot of networking. So it knows to use. It actually knows I'm on the regional team for BNI even. So it gives me the prompt saying, use your BNI network. I know you're part of BNI. Da, 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 da. Very interesting how it knows a little too much about me.
Awesome. Dale raised a good point. I don't know if you remember at the beginning, I was saying to Robin not to put her information into the free version. Because Dale has a free version, a paid version, he's actually able to build a profile into ChatGPT. Like I worked mine to a point like it knows I'm an executive coach. It knows I'm part of BNI. It knows I'm a student. It knows I'm a grandma. And when it creates responses,
and it's so cool.
It does all of that with that context, and I get a whole different level of responses. So just for anybody who's thinking, is this worth it? I have found I get my money back and some, but I totally get it. I wouldn't ask you to go out and pay for it. I think it's about 25 US per month. But if you don't even know what you're doing with it, or you haven't used the free version, absolutely, I would say play in that sandbox before you move on. But thanks, Dale.
No problems. Yeah.
So this is one area that is a huge weakness of mine, right? I am one of those business owners who, for the longest time, it's like, you know what? There's money in the account, spend it. But I'm realizing more and more that, you just, okay, I set these goals, but what resources do I need in order to hit those goals? And so this prompt, based on industry standards, recommends suitable percentages of revenue that I should allocate across operations, marketing, growth initiatives to help achieve my WIG. So, put 10% of your revenue toward this and put 10% of your revenue toward that, right? How much money are you going to need in order to make this come to pass, right? So you don't just want it to be I set this goal and then I'm going to accomplish it. Well, you've got to put the resources toward it. And this is around helping you get that. So I'd love to, again, after you have a minute or two to do this, love to find out what are you, what's coming up. And the other thing, the second question there is, what AI tools can I use to track and optimize my expenses while achieving my goals? So again, it's not just tracking it, but what can I optimize? Hey, maybe you're spending too much money in this area and you need to do that. You can get that response from your AI tools as well. Looks like we have a few shy people in the room. So I'm gonna just open up for responses. If you've spoken before, I know I've kind of put a little bit of a condition on you, but if you want to share again, please don't hesitate to do so. Again, I'd love to hear from as many people as wish to contribute. I don't want to make it, I don't want to force you to do so, but there's power in the wisdom in the room, right? Right, Mike?
Okay. This is Greg again, Moji. You're going to get tired of hearing from me.
Hey, talk on. Nobody else is talking to me.
Okay. Yeah, budget allocations, interesting. My operations is at 40 to 50% is a recommendation. I target actually around a 45%.
Nice.
So I'm right on there. My marketing, 20 to 30%. And what's interesting about that number is from a hard budget allocation, I'm low. But what I neglect to put into that input is my time and effort that I do it. Just because I know how to do it doesn't mean I should, but I do. So that's probably pretty accurate. And then growth initiatives, 10 to 20%. Chasing the bright, shiny objects, that's probably pretty accurate. And the profit and contingency, 10 to 20%, is probably realistic, but extremely low. I should be making 80% is what I think.
That was actually when I first saw my numbers, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I need more profit than that. But you know what? The truth is, that is reality, isn't it? And yeah. Anyways, thank you for that. Can we get one more person to share around budget and resource planning? I mean, like we could spend an hour just on this topic. The other piece of that is how many people, once I put my plan together, how many people do I need on my team to help make this work, right? We're just still talking about, budget and resource planning. So, giving thought to some of those other pieces of the puzzle when you go to finalize the plan. And I'll talk about, what is the process we're going to use to do that toward the end here. Can I get one more person to share before we move on from budget?
Sure. Mine is operations is somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 60%. My marketing should be about 15 to 20%. And my growth initiatives are the other 20 to 30%, depending on how we allocate the first two. So that's kind of the breakdown that it's given me.
Yeah.
And then it's given me, a few different ways to track all that. So.
Yes. And what's coming up for you is that, Lloyd, I guess what I'm wondering is that high, is that low? Is that like relative to what you've done in the past?
It's probably relative to what I've done in the past.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Next will be, what am I going to measure? You cannot improve what you're not measuring, right? The only way we're going to get better is that we know what we did today so that we can do a little bit better tomorrow. I remember very, very early in my BNI years, we had a really good month. And I said to my coach, oh, what an amazing month. And he went, what did you do? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, you want to know, because if you don't know, you can't do it again, right? And so knowing what to measure and measuring and keeping an eye on those things helps you know how to fine tune your process. So what are the top 3 KPIs? We call them lag measures in 4DX language that I should track to measure the success of my WIG. Again, if you've been staying in the same conversation, because you had that WIG conversation up in the conversation, it knows what you're talking about. So, and then create a step-by-step process to help me design an effective player's scoreboard to track my progress toward my goal. So this is about measuring, this is about staying on track. And again, I'd love to hear from a couple of people on what you're learning and what's coming up for you. Robin, did I see your hand? Go.
I was just moving my computer, but I'd say that maybe the reason so many of us are quiet is because there is so much to read and comprehend, and there's a lot of knowledge there. And I agree with most people. It's like some of this, I'm like, oh yes, I know this, but am I doing it effectively?
Yes.
So I feel like we really do need time to absorb the information that is presented to us, which is nice that we can have this and save and go back. But I know for myself personally, it's like just trying to read it all and maybe let it absorb in a little bit, which is hard to like give you feedback back so quickly, but it's great information.
I debate, if I said, come to a half-day session, would you have come? Maybe not. I also didn't want to just give you a, go and do this when you get home, because guess what? Chances are you wouldn't. So this was kind of my, okay, let's generate all the material, just scan it, don't get bogged down, and we'll go. So bear with me.
Yes, it's so hard not to get bogged down though. So just so you know, I think all of us, we're really enjoying it, but I think it's like, for the first time reading through it, you're like, wow, there's a lot of information here to absorb. And then as business owners, we're already thinking of, oh, we should do this. Like one of mine was bundling product. I'm like, oh, we've talked about that. Like, so it's great information. Sorry that we're not being, lots of communication back, but I think it's most of our brains are absorbing all of it.
Thank you. And that's great feedback, Robin. And honestly, no apologies needed. The first time I did this, I was sitting there going, holy smokes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And so hearing you say that, and one of my recommendations at the end, and you'll see it when it comes to actually putting it all together, because what we're doing right now is like we're generating baskets of fragments, right? And so you're going to still need to sit down and go, okay, what was beneficial, or you can make the AI do that for you as well. You know what, this is great, but it's overwhelming. Help me condense this into an achievable plan that I can do in XYZ. So there's ways to make that easier, but I totally get you. Thank you for that, Robin. But yeah, before we go to the next one, can I get one more person to kind of just share what's come up for them based on what they're learning? Paul, you're looking at me so intently, I have to call on you. Oh, Dilly, were you gonna, sorry, Austin's hands up. Go ahead. Austin, please unmute and
yeah, 1 second, I'm trying to do that. And by the way, I've been here, but if I need to shut down the lid of my laptop, because when it's up, I have like 4 screens. It messes up the layout of the screen. So now it's a real person talking. So I can shut this down. Okay. So thank you. So what I have here that came up for the last question is what are top three KPIs, the lag measures, because it had already identified that I needed to focus on commercial clients. By the way, my company is a lawn care and landscaping company.
Nice.
So it says I need to focus on the commercial clients, new commercial client acquisition. I need to focus on revenue growth, and to support that, I need to find the average revenue per client, track how they are generated, and be able to scale up on those. So pretty much saying, don't chase residentials.
Interesting. And you know what, that could be, again, based on what you said, but does it necessarily mean that you don't keep your residential clients? Not necessarily. It just means maybe focus more attention.
Yeah, I think it's saying that when you want to scale, when you want to look at where the revenue came from and build on it, where you want to spend more money, where it's coming, more is coming from is what we should focus on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, Austin. Appreciate the feedback. Okay, and I think this will be, if not the last one, the second last one before we go into our breakout rooms. Oh, sorry. Yes, it is the last one. You will see those prompts in the chat and on the Google Sheet, whatever works for you. Adrian, I see you taking pictures. I'm going to be sharing a PDF of this with you right after this session. So that is coming right up. And this is just about how do we stay on track, right? I'm just going to share a very personal example. I have struggled with my weight for years, and the only times I have been successful is when I have actually put a plan in place to maybe work with somebody to ask me questions and ask me what's going well and what's not. And so, and if something's not going well and I'm consistently implementing, then what do I need to do differently? And so it does, you know, it's like achieving any goal. I get excited putting down goals, but it's not the writing down of the goals or the identifying of the goals that is going to accomplish the results. It's the implementation, right? It's the accountability. And so this is that piece of that puzzle for you. This is why you have your power team partner or, you know, business partner or trusted person in the room to hold you accountable. And again, if anyone's willing to share what's coming up for them, we would love to hear from you. And I want to specifically thank Dele for helping me refine and get these all really fine-tuned to a point. Like we spent time over the weekend together, just basically working our way through each prompts. And for the facilitators, I'm sure you will remember that these prompts look very different from the one I sent to you on the weekend, because we thought, okay, if we're going to ask people to work through these prompts, why don't we work through them ourselves and see what we see? And as a result, we were able to refine them and get them a little bit better. So thank you, Dele, for that. Okay. May I have a couple of people share?
John, just go ahead and talk. Don't wave. She can't see you.
Do I have to talk? How can I possibly resist?
I'm sorry. No matter how I try. Go ahead.
So what I got for the questions I should ask myself and team during weekly and quarterly reviews, I would suggest if you take nothing away from this session today, and there's an awful lot of value here, but if you take nothing away, take the answers to that particular prompt about what should you be looking at each week. And what it says for me is, what were the key accomplishments? What was completed successfully? What challenges or obstacles did you encounter? And what are you going to do about them? If you only did those things, you would have huge improvement in your business. Look at all of the other stuff that's in what you've already created in the last 45 minutes.
Amazing. Thank you. One more person.
Sure, Monji, I'll bite. So when it comes to, it's Greg here, by the way. When it comes down to the questions to ask quarterly, weekly, those are pretty straightforward. You know, what should we continue doing, stop doing, delegate, those types of things. What are you doing? Where are you at? Where do you need help? Those are pretty standard. Where I find the value that's came out is exploring the alternative strategies that fall short. Right. So evaluate and pivot your offer. So those are some discussions, but from my experience, the before I do and change my offer or anything, I need to make sure that it's got some good reps. Meaning, if I haven't presented it to 100 people and gotten consistent feedback from it, I'm gonna always, if I try to change it after talking to 3 people, 4 people every time, it's never gonna be refined. It's never gonna be standardized. So you got to run with it and let it go. you know. So
very, very, that is gold right there. Thank you, both John and Greg, for that feedback. Really, this is where most of us fail, right? It's the accountability process, it's the implementation. But like Greg says, we as business owners, we love shiny objects, you know, and we're on to the next thing. Give it a good run. I'd say give it maybe a quarter before you say, okay, you know what, we've done it consistently, and it's still not working. What else can we try? Right. And but these, like John said, if you get nothing else, look at this one and make sure that you really put a lot of time on that. Okay, with that, we have 7 breakout rooms depending on your businesses. And we're not quite done. There's one more piece that we're going to do when we come back. But I want you to self-identify. And when you get in the breakout room, oh, something happened to my slides here. Adelia, are you able to clean them up? But anyways, that's fine. There are 3 questions. What key learnings did you get? What challenges did you have with the process? And Robin, identified some of the challenges being, holy, there's just so much information that I'm getting. But also, what is your next step? So pick a breakout room based on what you do, and our facilitators will join you in the room just to help move the conversation forward. But what I'm hoping you really do here is make a commitment out loud of what you're going to do for yourself, because you spent these 90 minutes in this session with everybody else. So with that, the rooms are open. Please pick a room, again, like I said, based on what you do, where you can mingle with other business owners, learn from their learnings. Maybe commiserate on challenges, or maybe even get some feedback. But depending on who's in the room, if we can get 15 minutes of conversation, that will be amazing. So let's see who all. And if anybody is having trouble picking a room, let us know, and we will help you.
And if anyone's in a room by themselves, I am definitely going to jump in there as soon as I can.
And I'll be moving into rooms as well. So we'll just see who's left here.
All right. Does anyone need a hand getting into a breakout room? Let me know.
No one in real estate and property services yet. Paulo's
alone. Yeah. I'll go hang out with Paulo in a second.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, heading there now.
Okay. Olga is by herself. Dile, did you want to go with Olga?
In the rooms, like, where are people clicking?
Oh, at the bottom of your screen, there should be like, it's breakout rooms. And then if you click on it, you'll see the different rooms.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Dale, did you want to move, or you want to just stay out here? Okay.
I don't know if you can hear me now. I can now talk,
yes.
but I can't see any rooms. I'm having
okay.
audio. Just throw me into a room.
Okay, which room do you, hospitality, of course.
Yes.
People. Okay, so
please.
I'm gonna move you.
Thank you.
Okay. Edwin, Cindy, and Dale. I don't want to leave if you're still present. Just let me know, where should I move you if you wanted to. Actually, Edwin, you are technology, so I'm just going to move you there. Welcome, 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 everyone. Welcome back. Okay, can I get a couple, maybe one person from each room to just share real quick in about 30 seconds, some highlights from the conversations that you had? Can I get somebody from hospitality?
Olga, go ahead.
Good.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it was very nice. I was with Vicky and Deli, and their input, it was so nice. Besides the information that I'm getting directly from you and on all this information. So it's, I was telling them that it's a little bit overwhelming, but at the same time, it's like, okay, it's so much that I don't know about my business that I have to learn. And the way to learn, to have the information, the important information, to have it handy.
Nice.
So when I need to know, okay, how are you doing? I know where to go. I know where to find that information. And so, yeah, it's
we're going to talk about putting it together in a minute. Thank you, Olga. Great feedback. Chris, I don't have all the breakout room titles, so can you just unmute and call the next room?
Yeah, for sure. Up next, why don't we call on trades and construction? I would love to hear from Austin if you're still in the room here. Scanning, I'm not seeing Austin.
I saw him like a second ago.
Yeah. But yeah, Paulo and I were just getting set up, going over some ChatGPT stuff. I'm relatively new user to it, so just kind of getting familiar with the functionality of it and where to go to find stuff and how to enter prompts and stuff like that. So we just kind of had a bit of a overall initial session of the platform.
Fantastic. Thank you for that support. And Paulo, you couldn't find a better support person, so please reach out to Chris. But go ahead.
We happen to be in the same BNI chapter, so we will book a one-to-one.
We're gonna have another one-to-one for sure. Up next, health and wellness. Who would like to take the mic on a quick summary of what you got out of that session?
We didn't appoint anybody.
We did now. It's Marina.
We did. It's me. So all of us felt that these AI tools can do so much more than we had ever really imagined. And it was great that Moji, you sort of designed this session to push the envelope and say, you know, we're not just going to clean up by marketing, you know, something or other. You know, we're gonna build out a full strategy. We're gonna get some key indicators. We're gonna get some action points. We're gonna ask it larger questions to build out something far more robust. And that was a big surprise for all of us. One of our members in our group has two very disparate businesses and is going to use the AI tools on how she can synergize these businesses or market them complementary to each other. You know, and this is a bit of a conundrum, you know, in your own mind, but I'm sure that AI will have a solution.
I love it.
It was great. It was a great session.
Thanks, Marina. Up next, we're going to hear from finance and legal. Who would like to take the mic on that?
That would be Anya.
Okay, Anya, take it away.
So we just kind of chatted about some of the things that ChatGPT was suggesting to us, and Alyssa and I are actually already accountability buddies, so we were just discussing on what goals we're going to hold ourselves accountable to, and yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. And since Austin joined us from the real estate and property services team in the trades and construction, We're going to move on to the next one, creative and marketing services. Who would like to take the mic on that breakout room summary?
It was me and Greg. So I'm probably the least AI comfortable. Greg is quite adept at it, I'm going to say. So Greg had a lot of really great pieces that he shared with me about where to further take marketing and some of the trends that he's seeing. So I really appreciated that. So thank you, Greg. Now I'm gonna tuck your information here. I'm gonna check more stuff out that you've got going on, because it sounds like you're down that road already. So yeah, thank you very much for that.
You're very welcome.
Very cool. Thanks, Kim and Greg. Up next, we're going to hear from technology. So who would like to take that, Lloyd? I mean,
it will be Lloyd. We had myself and Dale and Edwin, and there was various of experiences here between who's using it well and more experienced at it, and those of us who are very novice at it. Today's key learnings, we got a lot of great ideas on how to keep things continue. For some of us, it was more of a refresher. One of us actually uses it in their conversations with clients as a tool to help facilitate those conversations, as well as helps with doing cold calling of all things. So looking forward to getting into that. In terms of challenges, the volume of stuff that we dealt with today was huge. So it's just a matter of going through and digesting all of that. And again, there's also challenges with this tool in the sense that you can ask the same question twice and you'll get two different answers. So be wary of that, especially if you're using the free version. And then in terms of next steps, it's just a matter of, in all cases for all three of us, it's just we want to all keep playing with it. And we're going to need more time to completely understand what we can do to succeed with this tool. But it creates a lot of great opportunity.
I've got news for you, Lloyd. Just when you think you know it, with each 24-hour cycle, there's more features. This thing is only as bad as it will ever be. So, I mean, that's not to discourage you, but that's to say the best is yet to come.
That's literally the story of my life, Moji, is just wake up every day and figure out what I have to learn again. So, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. Did we hear from every group?
We did, I believe so.
Thank you, Chris. So what's next? This is your implementation plan. I mean, like, there's some heavy lifting ahead of you. There's no doubt. What I've heard from everyone is this is a lot of information. You're going to need to schedule some time. Glass of wine, cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever works for you, right? But I mean, just think about how much time it would have taken to brainstorm all the information you now have in front of you. That's weeks worth of work. Now you can take a couple of hours to go, okay, this works, that doesn't, this works, that doesn't. And I'm guessing in about 2 hours, you could put together something. Or you could say to AI, you know, this is what I enjoy, this is what I don't, this is what I like, this is what I don't. Fizzle this all down to me for one page. See what comes out. You might want to add to it, you might want to take away from it. But I guess what I'm trying to say is every time I see work ahead of me, I go, how much help can my buddy, chat give me in this process? So highlight your gems and then calendarize. Make sure you go, okay, I'm gonna do, marketing at this time, or I'm gonna hire somebody to do market. Like, figure out what it's gonna take, all of this stuff that you've generated to actually put boots on the ground with regards to your plan. And therein, for most of us, it's not the planning, it's the execution that tends to be a challenge. So this is kind of a roadmap in those 3 steps to help you get there. Moving right ahead, I wanted to share one last prompt with you. When you feel like you've got it all together, you say to it, review this final copy of my strategic plan. What improvements would you recommend? I especially like doing this in Poe because it's got all the different, it's got Chat, it's got Claude, it's got Gemini, it's got Llama, it's got about 5 different AI tools in one spot for the same investment as you would for ChatGPT paid. And you can now compare, maybe ChatGPT says this, maybe Claude says this, maybe Gemini says this, and 90% of the stuff will be the same, but maybe one of them brings up something that the others didn't, right? And then you make that comparison, and then you finally, get something that you're happy with. Again, this is just my, I don't know, ADHD brain or whatever you want to call it, but I like getting to the, hey, what's possible in this space. So I hope that that final prompt is a helpful one for you. Moving right along, we're going to be doing some, this is our January session, January 6th. I have been told by some people that the 3 p.m. slot was a bit of a problem, so we've moved it up by a half hour to 2:30. But please join us. But even more than that, I want you to talk to your members in your chapter. Imagine if your entire chapter was understanding and playing in this space together. We have a visitor coming tomorrow. What would be a good, how should we welcome them? Who should we connect them with, right? I'm going to BNI Horizon tomorrow. I'm going to be having questions with AI to say, okay, what's top of mind on the minds of the people that will be in that room? Because guess what? They're telling it to Google anyway. What are the business owners in Red Deer searching for? And so when I get into that room, I can address that. I'm not guessing. I'm not wondering. I have that information. And so please, again, we're going to set up the registration. We haven't done that yet, but we hope that, with these tools, we can not only strengthen our base, we can promote this outside of, BNI. We didn't promote this one because we really wanted to give members, either it be you as members or your members of your team or members of your party and people you hold one another accountable. But we'll be promoting future ones to people for them to see the power of BNI and the possibility of them visiting your chapter and wanting to do business with you. So that will be our next session. And then with that, if you want to connect with me, I want to thank all of our facilitators. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, John, Lloyd, Dilly. Thank you all for your support. This would not have been possible without you. I love Indira Gandhi's quote, the power to question is the basis of all human progress. And guess what ChatGPT allows us to do? Ask a lot of questions. And if you go to it with an open mind, you'd be amazed what you can get. That QR code on the screen has, if you want to do a one-to-one with me, if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, if you want to call, all of my information is on that. But with that, if anybody needs to run, please feel free. I know we're over by 3 minutes, but if anybody wants to stay around for Q&A, I will stay around and until your questions are answered. Wishing everybody the very best of the season. Thank you.
Thanks, Moji. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming, Greg.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Kim.
Thanks.
Bye, Olga. No problem.
I have a quick question here, just
Yes,
on all you techie people. So all the information I use that po.com. How do I copy all that, put it into a Microsoft Word so I can print it off for my review? Or is there a way?
So the easiest way, now, if we're only doing 1 or 2, usually there's a little icon on the bottom. Actually, you could do it that way too, because I think we asked about 10 questions. It will be cleaner. There's a little a 2-page icon on the bottom. If you click on that, it will say copy, and then you can use that to copy, or I just highlight the entire page sometimes and just copy and paste.
I clicked on something that says copy share link.
Oh, you could do that too, where you email it to yourself, but it just allows you to come back to the same page where you actually want to copy the document.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just, if you don't see the copy icon on the bottom, just go ahead and highlight
everything,
all of the information and then copy and paste it into.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, thank you very much, everybody.
Enjoy. Compliments of the
season. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Have a good evening.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
See you. Bye-bye.
See you, Dale. Moji, I'm gonna book a one-to-one with you. Is that okay?
Love it.
Cool. Next Monday at 9 a.m. It says you're free. Is that cool?
Just Monday. Does it?
Pardon?
That is very. Oh, you know what? That's true. I am actually free on Monday.
I can do whatever time you want, or even
Yeah, well,
after.
let me get back to you on that. Maybe I need to.
No,
figure-
Monday 9 a.m. is not.
Yeah, I'm not
Well,
even in.
what you gotta look at your once hub because it's saying that you are here. How
Send
about
me
this?
yours.
Yeah.
Send
There you go. There's mine
yours.
right there.
Oh, no, don't put it in there. Put it in send it to me by email. It'd be easier for me to grab it.
You got it.
Chris.
Moji, I've just booked a one-to-one with you for Wednesday.
Fantastic. We shall talk.
Okay, because I missed the first 30 minutes of your session, so I felt like I really lost a lot. So
I am so sorry. But you know what? Thank you for being there and thank you for sticking with it till the end. Because that's important, right?
Okay.
But yes, I'd love to connect. And Edwin, we're eating breakfast together tomorrow.
Yes. And I see when I can book a one-to-one with you. I think we are due to have a chat.
We are long overdue, sir.
Yes. Perfect. I will see you tomorrow. Have a safe drive.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye,
everybody. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Bye, Chris.
Alriady, see you later, Moji. See ya.
Cheers, Chris.